Oh man, we are back. Sorry I haven't posted in a few days. I got a little bit sidetracked with a couple of stuff. For anyone that plays Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle on like their phone, I've been playing that game a lot recently because they've had their 10th anniversary. I'm personally not like crazy about anime. I know a lot of people love it, but it's just not for me. But the one anime that I did actually like was Dragon Ball Z growing up as a kid. That was always awesome. Yeah, Dokkan Battle, fun game on the phone, but they're having their 10th anniversary, so I got really sidetracked with that. Then I proceeded to watch all four John Wick movies on on my television because I also got sidetracked with that too. So I haven't really played Pokemon, but we're gonna be trying out Calyrex Shadow today. Calyrex Shadow, in my opinion, is probably, I would say, like the fourth best restricted in the format. I know a lot of people might say that that is controversial, but I personally don't think so. I think Cali Ice is like clearly the best restricted. I think Miraidon's the second best. And I think Zamazenta's probably third. You can maybe make an argument that Cali Shadow's slightly better than Zamazenta, but I feel that Cali Shadow, although it's got like some things that are really going for it, like having two abilities and a really strong move in Astral Barrage, there's also some things that really go against it. Like the fact you can't hit normal types with Astral Barrage is huge, and you have Pokemon like Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Smeargle, and Terapagos running around in the format. Plus, like, you can't really bring it to Terapagos matchups because it can't really touch Terapagos unless you run Psyshock on it. But a lot of Terapagos now are running a Follow Me user next to it, like a Clefairy or Ogerpon, so you can't even Psyshock it because it gets redirected anyway. Plus, there's a lot of like really commonly used dark types right now, like Chi-Yu, Chen-Pao, Urshifu Single Strike, Ting-Lu, Incineroar, that all just kind of like, smack it around a little bit. But even though Calyrex has like a poor typing defensively and to an extent offensively, just because you can't really touch dark types, the thing is, if you can get it like rolling and you can get a boost with Calyrex Shadow, then it can just take over games. But with that being said, it hasn't had as consistent results as I feel as like the other three Pokemon. Certainly not as much as Miraidon and Cali Ice, but it might have it, like, it's kind of close between it and Zamazenta, but I would just personally take Zamazenta. That's just my like whole thing. But yeah, if you think Cali Shadow is like one of the three best, then good for you. I personally don't think so, but it still is a very good Pokemon. But yeah, I'm running mine a little bit differently with safety goggles just because I hate Amoonguss so much. Plus, also this Cali Shadow Rider has Will-O-Wisp on it to stop Cali Ice, which we are looking at right now. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna immediately lead Calyrex. I think Grimmsnarl's pretty good. We could set up some screens, get that going. We just got to be careful of Fluttermane because I don't know if that's a Shadow Ball variant or not. I'm assuming the Fluttermane's probably Focus Sash and the Iron Valiant is Booster Energy. Just looking at like this team construction, but I think these two as a lead is good. Raging Bolt's going to be really good this game because outside of Cali, Ice, and... Well, actually, no, it loses to like half the guy's team. Wait. But it is good against Torkoal, and I would get the boost. So let's bring that, and then... We can either go Lando or Ogerpon. I don't... do I like Urshifu? Lando's also solid. I'm going to go Lando. I am making myself a little bit susceptible to the Ogerpon Hearthflame, but I'm feeling my opponent he may or may not bring the Ogerpon, so it's like a 50-50, but also I think if they do bring it, they're going to use it more as like a redirect user rather than to just like do a whole lot of damage just to protect their side Pokemon. But my opponent leads Calyrex and Iron Valiant, so I could just immediately just Will-O-Wisp the Cali Ice and then just click Reflect. My opponent very well could also just click Y-Guard this turn and Trick Room, which I would assume that's probably what they want to do. And then the following turns I could set up screens or throw up some Thunder Wave, stuff like that. But yeah, we just have to hopefully hit this Will-O-Wisp. That is always one of the questions about using it, is its consistency. But if you do get Will-O-Wisp off, then it is very, very nice. Yeah, I'm assuming this like Iron Valiant's probably wide guard coaching, maybe like Spirit Break Encore or something like that. Those are typically what the sets run, but some people have been going the route of using it as a special attacker with Moonblast instead of Spirit Break, which also makes sense just because of the prevalence of Incineroar. But yeah, so I think this is just my safest play. Are they Terrifier? Oh no. Hopefully not, because that would be quite bad. Okay, they're Terra Fairy. All right, that is not the worst thing. So they're going to get rid of their weakness to Ghost, but I'm totally okay with that. This is one of the tough things about closed team sheet is you don't know if it's Terra Fire Cali or not, but I feel more people as of recently have been shifting over to Terra Fairy just because it just won San Antonio. And also, like, it makes sense because there's not really, like, a lot of great attacking steel types that could touch, like, heavy fairy types like Cali Ice, because you can't really use Heavy Slam on Zamazenta just because Cali Ice itself is very physically bulky and also very heavy. So, yeah, but my opponent does... they get a crit. That really stinks. Man, that's unfortunate. We're just going to Astral Barrage and I think Thunder Wave, or do we want to switch out here? Oh, that crit really stinks. We're just going to Astral Barrage and... Actually, no, maybe we just Psychic. Yeah? No, we have to Astral Barrage. We need to start doing damage to Cali Ice, even though it's Burn and Thunder Wave. I don't think my opponent will... Never mind, my opponent did Wide Guard. I was going to say, I think if anything here, that might coaching to neutralize the burn, like the burn effect of it, lowering its attack, but my opponent did not do that, so I should have just Psychicked. I was obviously debating there, but I made the wrong play, so that's my fault, but it's okay. So, yeah, we're just going to do that. If my opponent Trick Rooms this turn, I think that's actually the best move, or like the best thing for me, but they obviously don't do that. The reason I was going to say is because like I could just simply then just like protect, stall a turn of it, and then like do some switches and stuff like that. But this is okay. I'm just going to immediately Spirit Break into Iron Valley and just protect Calyrex Shadow. I don't want my opponent getting an attack boost with their own Calyrex, because then that could kind of spell disaster a little bit. I feel like if I can get my team into a situation where it's Raging Bolt and then Landorus, like for the end game, I think I'll be okay. But we just have to be very, very cautious here. So, yeah, my opponent lowers my special attack. That's not going to really matter. Okay, so that... That's fast Calyrex, huh? How fast is that thing? That is actually... I was not expecting that. So do they not have Trick Room? That's actually way faster than I thought it would be. Let's Psychic. What could they have? They could have Flutter Mane, Bolt. Yeah, let's Psychic the Calyrex. Just throw up a light screen. We'll sacrifice Grimmsnarl. My opponent's going to obviously get the at least like one attack boost with Calyrex, because they're probably just going to Glacial Lance here, but this isn't the worst thing ever. Yeah, I just Psychic just because I was scared of Wide Guard, but we're going to get a little bit of chip here. Iron Valiant doesn't move, which is really nice for me, so that's pretty good. My opponent does Trick Room, though, which actually is not... That's actually not bad for me, just because their Calyrex is faster than my Grimmsnarl, so we can just protect Calyrex here. We can't just freely switch Inks. We do have an Ice weakness, and we could just Spirit Break into Iron Valiant. Not the worst thing in the world. I would assume my opponent probably has Torkoal in the back, and then I could just bring in Raging Bolt after Grimmsnarl goes down, and then I could just immediately Terra Water it, and then make it just resist both Eruptions and Glacial Lances, which would be pretty good. So that's pretty nice. I just have to be a little careful. Because if they also have their own Raging Bolt in the back, if I go Terra Water on my Raging Bolt, which that's the Terra type, then I do make myself susceptible to opposing Raging Bolt. So got to be careful of that. But the Will-O-Wisp is slowly whittling down this Calyrex. Yeah, I think Raging Bolt's just the best play. The best thing for my opponent is if they actually have Ogerpon, because then I can't really touch the Calyrex unless I use Electro Web. But my opponent has Raging Bolt, What is there? There's 3 turns of Trick Room. Do I preserve Calyrex or no? I don't think so. I think I just Astral Barrage. I'll immediately just Dragon Pulse into Raging Bolt. I'm just going to immediately Terra. My opponent's not going to Thunderbolt my Raging Bolt here, but they are going to Glacial Lance and probably click Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse, depending on which one they have. So that's what I would assume my opponent does here. If it's Draco Meteor, that's best case scenario, because then they'll lower their special attack and make this actually more a favorable matchup for me. My opponent just Glacial Lances. Please have Draco. That'll be actually like best case. But we do have Assault Vest and Light Screen, so this is going to be just a fine play. What is this set? What is it? It's Dragon Pulse. Okay, so that's actually the worst case scenario, but not the end of the world. My opponent does also have Life Orb, so this is going to be probably a bit more of an offensive Raging Bolt. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. We could just probably Thunderclap the Calyrex. Their Raging Bolt's faster in Trick Room than mine, but they do have Life Orb recoil. So they got that, and then I also have the burn and all that stuff going on, so yeah, I think I'm just going to Thunderclap their Calyrex. They're going to probably Thunderclap me, but that's okay. I would assume here they just Glacial Lance, Thunderclap my own Raging Bolt, but we want to still preserve the Sash. My opponent doesn't do as much damage as I thought they'll do. Life Orb's going to do a little bit. Raging Bolt's going to faint. That is totally fine by me. Hopefully their last Pokemon is Torkoal. I would assume like that's probably what you bring against my team. Because the thing is, if it is Torkoal, then I could just click Earth Power with Landorus and then Thunderclap with my own Raging Bolt. Another Glacial Lance. Oh, it's going to be a roll if it gets me or not. Ooh. Worst case scenario is if they have Ogerpon, but they have Torkoal, so that's actually really, really good for me, so I could just kind of win the game right now. Okay, they also activate my Photosynthesis, which is really good. Yeah, so we just Earth Power Torkoal, just Thunderclap the Calyrex, and then if they double protect here, they stall out their own Trick Room, and then I could just actually Sludge Bomb the Calyrex instead and do my other stuff. But my opponent's probably going to click Eruption, but I do have Focus Sash, so this is why Focus Sash is so nice on Lando Eye. I understand you lose out on the power and Life Orb, but in scenarios like this against Trick Room, it does give you kind of a way out with these like kind of fast teams. But it doesn't matter because we have Light Screen. I thought even with Light Screen that would still bring me down to Sash, but I guess not. So, but that's probably not Specs Torkoal, considering it didn't really kill my Raging Bolt there. I understand I resist and there's screens in the Assault Vest, but Eruption from from Torkoal and the Sun's really, really strong. But yeah, so we're gonna pick up a win there, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, I like Calyrex Shadow. It's decent, but again, I do not think it is a top 3 Pokemon that some people make it out to be, but that's just my opinion. So yeah. But with that being said, let's see what our record is first. Not record, our rank. That's what I meant to say. Let us do the song of the day. So today, hold on, I got to pull up the name of it. Give me 1 second, because I actually put this on my playlist the other day, because I never heard this song before. So it's going to be Far Away by Nickelback. I understand Nickelback is a very controversial band because a lot of people don't like them for whatever reason. I personally like Nickelback. I'm going to say it. I know people are probably going to hate on me for that, but I think they are underrated and they get more hate than they deserve. But Far Away, it's a good song by them. There's other songs by them as well, but I decided to pick a little bit more of a niche song rather than something that's like Photographed by them or Rockstar or whatever. So yeah, hopefully you guys can enjoy that, and I will see you all next time.